Hi, and a very warm welcome to this session, Skill Capture, the vehicle out of the crisis. My name is Karin Kalin, and I am responsible for the Skill Capture concept, which is Scania's take on diversity and inclusion in Scania. I've been working with this since the last 4 years, but I have a long and extensive background in Scania. So I would like to start with a rhetorical question. Should we really focus on diversity and inclusion now in this middle of the crisis? We have had lockdowns, we have people working remotely, we have had layoffs, working just 2 days per week, and really stressful work, and we have so much to do at work. So should we really focus on this diversity and inclusion? Isn't that something that we can, do later on? And the answer to this question is, of course, we should work with this question. It is more important than ever, I would say. Because in this time of crisis, when do we need to find more creative solutions, find new ways of working, be more innovative, be more smarter, and really get the best out of the potential of our employees? I would say that that time is absolutely now. So this is why we focus on this, I would say, even more, even though it might not always be in our mind that this is what we actually are doing. But this is a way for us to get accelerating out of the crisis and ramp up for the future, because we want to be the leader in sustainable transport. And we believe that by working with skill capture, diversity and inclusion, this will really help us to do so. So today, this is the session that it will be all about, and I will share the agenda, what we will be doing today. Let me do it like this. So I will just briefly go through our skill capture concept, the what, why, and how we do it. And then I have invited 2 managers from Scania and have like a panel discussion with them, what kind of everyday practices they have done and used in order to run their operations and work with their teams during this crisis. And hopefully you will get some inspiration of what they have been doing, and maybe we will get some inspiration for you as well, because you are of course welcome to write your questions in the chat, and we will take them up as we go along. And after the panel discussion, we will have a summary. So that is what this session is going to be like. So skill capture, why do we call it skill capture? Well, it is actually because this is what it is all about. It is about capturing the skills, know-how, and perspective from the most valuable asset that we have in our company, which is our employees. And by using the term skill capture, we get the opportunity of explaining what this is and how it actually connects to the business. This is not something that is just a good thing to do. This is something that is absolutely necessary for us to do. And just to underline then, when we talk about diversity, it is of course the things that we can see on the outside, such as age and gender and perhaps body appearance, language with a name, etc. But it is also all the things that are on the inside, such as personality, education, previous work experience, feelings, political views, values, and everything that makes us being the persons who we are. So when we talk about skill capture, it is both about the things that we can see and also the things that we cannot see. Because of course, by being a woman or having a certain skin color or having a certain name will of course affect us how we develop as human beings and what we will be on the inside. So representation is of course important, but we mean the whole thing when we talk about it. And of course, inviting people to the party, but not asking them to dance, makes the people leave before the party is over. By this, we mean that, of course, if we just bring in the diversity and if we don't include it into our everyday work, into our decision making and so on, we will not really benefit from that diversity. So inclusion is key. It is really important that we work with it and not just, to bring in diversity, like a hostage and say like, look, we have diversity, and not include them into the work and into the decision making. Then we don't benefit from it, and we will not be successful in the future. This is our CEO, and he is one of our greatest ambassadors when it comes to skill capture. And this is something that he often says, that this skill capture is the engine for transformation. This is something that will help us to be the leader in sustainable transport systems. And it is a strategic initiative and also part of our corporate targets. And already in 2012, we realized that diversity is important to work with. And since 2016, we've had this diversity and inclusion index, which is based on 3 questions in our employee survey that forms then the D&I index. And this is our global KPI that we use for this in the entire Scania organization. And the connection then to the business and what this is all about. Of course, we need to be ethical because we need to by laws and regulations, but also because it is a good thing to do. And this is something that, of course, will make our employees more proud and happier that we are ethical. And if we have 50,000 employees all around the world, we have just as many communicators. So it's actually about not just saying that we should do the right thing, but that we really live by it and that we do it every day. And of course, we need to attract the right people, and we want to be an attractive employer. We want to have the best people in our company in order to reach our targets. So we need to be attractive, and we also, of course, need to retain the people that we already have in the company today. And with this, and having a diversity with the people, then we can, with these different perspectives that we bring in, we can be more innovative. And we can innovate all of these new products, services, and business models that we will need in the future. We all know that the combustion engine it's like a best before date for that. So we need to find new products, services, and business models to earn money in the future. And with this, we really need to think, and we need to bring in different perspectives and find where we are going to earn our money. And this, of course, all boils down to the culture. We need to work on the culture that we have so that people can feel safe, secure, and open to share their knowledge, their ideas, their opinions, and so on. So we can create this culture where innovation can float. And with skill capture, we have 3 guiding principles. So the first one is that lasting change starts with you. So we need to involve everyone in the company. And we believe that if we can have everyone to understand why and what we are doing, then the how will come automatically. But this is nothing that we can just do on the top or just do at the bottom. This needs to be integrated in all the parts of the organization. So we need to involve everyone, and everyone needs to change. Business is local is the second principle, and Scania is a global company, but we have a very decentralized organization, which means that it looks very different in different parts of the organization and in different parts of the world. So what we are saying is that take a look at the place that you are operating in, look what perspectives you have and the ones that you might be missing, and then make sure to add this on. And the last one, a skill capture mindset. So this is not a project. This has no end date. This is something that will be ongoing for a long time. And by having a skill capture mindset in the back of your head in everything that you do, we will bring in more diversity and more inclusive behaviors in our everyday work, which will make a difference. So with all of these small changes that we can do within all the parts of the organization, we think that that will make a big leverage. So it's more about doing things a little bit different that we do today, rather than adding on new big activities. And we have a model called the skill capture model, which consists of a skill capture initial lab. So we train all our managers in the organization in what diversity and inclusion is all about, how it's connected to the business, and then we have them to create their own local action plans. And then we follow up twice a year to see where we are, what the status is, and what could be the next step. And in this structured way, we know that we will progress within this area in the future. And we know that we have a long way to go. We are far from where we want to be, but at least we have the insight that we need to change and we need to do something about it. And we've been doing this for the last 4 years, and we can see that we are moving in the right direction, and we will get there in time. So that was the sort of overall go through what skill capture is all about. And if anyone has any questions regarding skill capture, you can always contact me on this email address. And that was it, what I was planning to say. But now I thought I should introduce my panel, because with this, it's just, words of how we are dealing with things, but it's more interesting, I think, to hear how this is integrated into our daily practices. So I have invited 2 managers, Hanna Blomdahl and Ikaros Dimitrou, to share with us a little bit how they have handled the crisis. So Hanna, could you just introduce yourself to us? Who are you?
Yeah, who am I? My name is Hanna Blomdahl, and I started working at Scania 2008, I think it was. So I spent quite a lot of years in this company, but just recently joined my new position as a business developer for buses and coaches. So I actually started this position during the pandemics, and of course that is, was both challenging, but also has given me a lot of new insights.
We'll come back to that a little bit later. And Ikaros, who are you?
I also worked at Scania for my entire working career since 2004. I'm a father of 3 kids, and see also my daughter as one of my big challenges of how to help her getting a good way forward in life. I have a team of project managers working with change management at Scania from a central positioning. So we have a team of 14 project managers that work with big challenging projects, changing the company's way of working.
Thank you. Okay, so this is Hanna and Ikaros. So Hanna, so when you took over this team, what kind of impact did this Corona crisis have on you, and what kind of new practices did you have to take up?
I mean, I started in June, and so far I have met my team once, which is, that is a total new experience for me, getting to learn people just online and working on understanding the mission and the task that we have, but also to lead, follow up, get to know the people, and also get to know a whole new organization. So in one way, it has been really different, and I have had to tackle the challenges in another way. But on the other hand, I can't say that I believe that I would have been in such a much better position now. So I'm not sure how it actually has influenced how far we have come as a team. I also see that I mean, this way of working has given us some advantages as well, since you need to be more, how to say, you really need to connect with people to get the work, to get to know each other in a digital way. So sometimes I believe that we have actually speed up our group dynamics and team building process. We talk much more personal with each other. We have more interactions. We have really tried to focus on having set aside time to work with the team building, to have fun together in another way that I believe that would have done if we were at the office.
That's interesting. Ikaros, do you recognize something that Hanna mentioned here?
I also started up my team directly after the summer vacation, so most of the time was also on digital forums. But I recognize definitely what Hanna says, but I think it will not come automatically. I think there are some steps that you need to take to get the benefits that Hanna is talking about that can be nice to highlight. At least from my perspective, I see that I have a team of 14 people. In the old world, then we would have our team meetings physically in a room. When we do that kind of meetings today, I see that it's only a certain amount of people that get the airtime. So one of the activities that I've tried to do is to split up the team in smaller groups, like having 3 or 4 people in breakout sessions. So we get the possibility to get the information and the competence from each and every one from a smaller perspective first, and then to highlight that in the bigger room.
So in that way, you created smaller teams because people connect better in smaller teams than in a big group?
I think it's from 2 perspectives. One, that I realized that I had difficulties even before to see every one of my employees in the eyes and say good morning to everyone, which I think is like a minimum level of personal contact that you can have with your staff. But I also thought that we were a quite new group. So I think it's quite hard for one person to get involved with 13 new people in a digital format. So then I thought it's better that you at least get close contact with 3 or 4 colleagues. So you get also a sense of maybe responsibility towards your colleagues, that I am responsible for 3 or 4 of my colleagues to also understand and see how they're feeling today, to know that they're being heard, and to see that everyone are doing their best.
And those groups, have them always been the same, or do you split them up and change them?
The first 6 months, I tried to keep them the same, and now after the new year, we started splitting up and mixing up a little bit between the teams.
So I think that's a smart way of doing it and creating a sense of belonging.
Yeah, exactly. At least that was the attempt.
Yeah. And you've been focusing also like on airtime and make sure that everyone gets heard.
I realized that just as Hanna said, that some of the benefits that we get with the digital format is that you can introduce new tools. I think using, I know there's many different like digital whiteboards or Miro boards, where when we have the discussions, we focus more on everyone posting their ideas on a board, having a little bit more structured way of taking everyone's solutions and ideas, and by doing it this a little bit more structured way, where you have it also written in a digital format, then everyone get somehow the airtime is split up between the fact instead of someone just talking and talking.
Smart thing. Hanna, I know that you find a way how to deal with your team members and how they work in projects. Can you share a bit?
Yeah, I mean, my team were a much smaller group, but I still had the same problems that you did, Ikaros, with some of them taking a lot of airtime and not everyone, getting their proper space. So, and we are working with both business and process development. And before the pandemic hit and we were forced to start working from home, all of them were responsible for separate projects. And what we quickly learned that, I mean, working from home creates this, distance feeling. Some of them felt really, lonely and struggled to find the way forward. And yeah, we had challenges um, with that in the team. So what we did was to try to work 2 and 2 in different projects, and there I tried to be smart. So I mixed and matched based upon diversity, inclusion thoughts. How could we use the benefit of what you're bringing with your point of view? And I also tried to put them on different things together. So I don't have a team of 2 working together all the time. I have them splitted, but I have a much smaller, I think we are 5 altogether. So it's easier for me to turn this around in a more frequent way. But the benefits has actually, I mean, the team is so happy. They feel that they are not the loneliness has that feeling has gone, and they are saying that we would like to stick to this working method even after the pandemic, because they see a lot of other benefits, and they believe that the result is both quicker and with higher quality than just working on them by themselves. So that is a finding that we have made as a group during this time.
And you, as a manager, what you say that your coworkers experience that this is better. Do you see that as well?
Yes. Both, at the result, I believe that the result is better because it's looked upon from different angles, even before they present something to me. Also, time-wise, they are much quicker, because they can help each other with pushing this forward. But mostly, I would say, I mean, the energy in the group is much higher. And since they are more connected to each other when we have group meetings or when we have discussions or reflections, I feel that they are safer in sharing their thoughts and challenging each other. We have become much better during this time to both challenge but also help each other in the team. And I think that is one of the benefits, because they know each other better in the work life, so to say.
I think that part is interesting what Hanna is pointing out, because I mean, getting people to feeling better is not an aim on itself. I mean, of course, we have a task to make sure that people that work for us feel good. But I mean, the task is to get out as much as possible also from our staff. And I mean, by doing things like you do, Hanna, then we see that we get the results. And I mean, that's the beauty of it, that people feel better and we also get better results. So
win-win.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Ikaros, what about your recruitment now? You had some thoughts from a skill capture perspective in how to deal with that.
I think it's. I realized that when I received my team this summer vacation, I realized that I had quite many senior men in the age of 50, which is, I think, in somehow it's the classical project manager is seen as a senior person, maybe a man coming from the industry, working many years. I realized I need to challenge this, because to also get both to get a better mix in the team, to get the solutions seen from different angles. But I challenged this time when I recruited by appointing a woman quite young in the perspective of being a senior project manager. But then it's also a discussion of how to promote this person in the best way. I think this is challenging for many managers when you feel that you want to give a new person the best possible prerequisites to be successful. So I think this is a balance that many of us have, how to promote the person that you really believe in, not by always, you don't want the person to be on her own or on his own. You want to give them the right prerequisites, but you don't want to, sometimes by being too soft to a person when getting into a new challenging position, you also, you don't do them the favor of really have the possibility to find out on their own.
Exactly. So I think that's something to have a dialogue around within both the team and with that person. And I think that our 25 minutes have passed now. So if we would then summarize this, I would say that we can see that skill capture by working with diversity and inclusion, that it has an impact on the end result. And by thinking together, using the collective intelligence, we will make a better decision, people will feel better, and we will perform better. And for us in Scania, that means that we can be in the forefront and be the leader in sustainable transport system as we would like to be. Thank you so much, Hanna and Ikaros, for this. I'm going to jump into the chat forum, and I hope that we will meet some of you there and we can continue the discussion. Thank you very much and see you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.